and welcome to your early morning show with your hosts, Ashley and Jemilia.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So right now we're going to get into some trending topics. So here we go.
WICR News.
Today marks the one-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. A Southwest Airlines flight from Sacramento was forced to land in Nebraska on Sunday after a passenger tried to make a mid-air exit. U.S. Airways tweeted an inappropriate photo to an unhappy customer on Monday. Detectives believe that a boy charged with stabbing 21 students and a security guard at his Pittsburgh area high school last week threatened 2 students by phone before the attack. And a Utah woman was accused of killing 6 babies that she gave birth to over 10 years. So, Jemilia, we have some pretty hard and interesting topics today.
Some crazy stuff going on.
So first, I thought it was appropriate to start off with the one-year anniversary for the Boston Marathon bombing. That's definitely probably the most important of news right now, at least for today. So I was looking into it because obviously it's been throughout the year we've seen a lot of survivors on TV shows such as like Today and Good Morning America,
Exactly.
and they're kind of telling their story of how they're recovering and how they've been affected and how they're moving forward. So today I found that there's going to be a large ceremony that will be held honoring the victims, first responders, medical personnel, and other people that were affected in Boston. And then there will be smaller ceremonies with fundraisers and panel discussions. This is going to be like a full week thing, not just today.
Well, yeah.
So, you know, sorry. I was watching the Today Show this morning, and Natalie, one of the Today anchors, was in Boston, and she's interviewing some survivors, and they're going to talk about their stories and just kind of, I don't want to say reliving the moment, but I guess just comparing how they're doing from today.
I can't believe it's been 1 year.
I can't believe it either. I mean, I remember this time last year, it was on the news like non-stop. Like, it was live footage for like 2 days, 3 days. Well, they found him after the first day, right?
And to think, the suspects that were involved, like, you'd never think it was them. Like, the way the media reported them at first, like, I don't know like how to explain it. Though they look like no one would have ever suspected them.
And it just amazes me, and it makes me so happy that we live in this type of era where the technology is so incredible that they were able to find these people with the technology that we have today. So I am extremely grateful for that. And with this, I was kind of, because we haven't really heard, because one brother died. And we haven't really heard anything about the other brother in the news. So I was Googling him. I know he has been waiting for trial for a while, but then it kind of died down. So I was like, I wonder, like, what's going on? So I was looking him up, and they said that not all background information has been released on the one attacker, and that he's still waiting for trial, and he's being charged obviously with multiple federal charges. So
Of course.
I'm not even gonna say his name because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I was looking at his name at the
hardcore.
I'm not even gonna try. Not gonna try.
So, yeah, I mean, I wish we were able to show, like, videos and stuff so we could show some of the interviews, but unfortunately we can't. So definitely, like, look that up, and it'll be on the news later. So there were a few really interesting airplane stories this week. I don't know what's been with airplanes lately, right? I mean, I feel like there's been, the Malaysian flight, and then with the one flight I forgot where it was taking off. I think it was in Chicago. Like, the front wheels came out and they had to evacuate. Like, all this weird stuff. But,
I
like,
don't know.
this week, literally, there were 3 stories that I was just like, what
This
is
third
going
one here
on?
we have is pretty hilarious.
Well, I forgot to add one airplane story. Did you hear about that 14-year-old girl who sent a terror threat via Twitter to the airlines, and this girl was like like, I read the article and it just made me so mad because she was so ignorant, and I don't even remember her name. That's probably why I didn't even put the story in here, because it made me
What was her
mad.
purpose in writing it?
No purpose. Like, she was like, I'm some, like, name in the Middle East, just some, like, random name, and, like, I'm part of Al-Qaeda, and later this month something big is gonna happen. Bye. So obviously the airlines, like, tweeted her back, and they're like, we take this very seriously. Like, we sent this to the FBI. Naturally, I mean, you don't take those things
Who
lightly.
does this?
And then she, thinking that she, like, covered her identity, she changed her Twitter handle, but it's still, like, in her like Twitter newsfeed, and she's like laughing about it, like making a joke. I'm like, you can't do that. Oh my god, it made me so mad. But yeah, so that happened, and then a Southwest Airlines flight from Chicago was forced to land in Nebraska on Sunday after a passenger tried to make a mid-air exit. Like, literally in the back of the plane, just tried to open the door and jump out. This guy's name is Joshua Carl Lee Suggs, and he is charged with interfering with the flight crew.
Honestly, what is going on with these airlines?
I have no idea, but I was like, why? Obviously, this person is mentally
Yeah, it has to be something wrong with him to want to do that.
Yeah, but apparently a passenger commented that this guy was acting very strangely, and that he came out of the bathroom soaking wet.
Yeah, there's something wrong with him. Most
yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
but
coming out the
luckily-
bathroom soaking wet. Yep, something's not right. No.
But everyone was safe, which is a good thing. But most recently is this U.S. Airways story that happened yesterday. Like, this is fresh. This is fresh news. And I don't know if we're allowed to say this word on air, so we're just going to say inappropriate adult photo.
Yeah.
That this girl, I have her name, her name is Elle, and she tweeted at U.S. Airways complaining of a flight delay. And naturally, I mean, you're frustrated. I personally hate flying and traveling for that reason. But U.S. Airways tweeted back, understanding the situation, and they acknowledged her. And then she tweeted back again, saying that their apology wasn't sincere and, like, they don't care. And then U.S. Airways responded back with this, like, saying, like, oh, like, for more information, look below, and for, I don't know, for details. And for some reason, the photo that they were hoping, or, like, were referring to, was not that photo.
It was a
very graphic.
Yes.
I mean, you can see it on the internet. It's there. I don't want to explain it because I don't want to get in trouble.
Don't want to get in trouble.
But yeah, this happened midday yesterday, and news came out about it later, but it just blows my mind. I mean, U.S. Airways has yet to comment on the situation. I mean, they said that they apologize, but obviously there's going to be more investigation as to who did it and why.
Was it taken down?
I think so. I'm not sure. I mean, if it hasn't, it needs to be. And it's like, if it was done intentionally, why? Like, that's such bad publicity.
Exactly.
I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. But did you hear about the boy in Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
The
I heard
high
about, I saw this
school.
on the news.
Yeah, I mean, this happened last week,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's still big because it's crazy. He's in high school, and the county detectives got a warrant to search his house. His name is Alex Hribble. I don't I don't know if I'm saying that right. Probably not. But he's being charged as an adult with 4 counts of attempted homicide and 21 counts of aggravated assault. Which I'm glad they're charging him as an adult because this is ridiculous. I mean, 4 students are hospitalized still and 3 are in critical condition. He went on a rant because I saw this and I was like, how does a kid in high school have a knife and stab that many people?
Like, he stabs one in the stomach and then starts running around,
Yes, it was in the
slashing
hallway,
random
and he
people.
went after a freshman, got him in the stomach, and then just like ran down the hallway and started stabbing everyone. And yeah, so he got that. He got students, and then I believe someone else was a teacher and a security guard.
Probably they tried to stop him. This story reminds me so much of Columbine. Like, how do teachers not notice this? And students, I'm not putting blame on anyone, but I'm just saying, if you open up your eyes and see the individuals who are eating by themselves, who are by themselves, who are, sometimes they don't look the same way you do.
Exactly. I was looking because I was like, well, if he was bullied in school and stuff and didn't have a lot of friends, like, obviously that builds up inside you, and this is most cases. But with this student, apparently, like, other students described him as a shy boy who kept to himself. But like you said, those are usually the
prime
people.
suspects. It's never the person that has all the friends that goes out and then starts attacking.
And with this warrant, I'm interested to see what they find. He got tested for mental illness.
Oh my god.
And apparently he's never had a mental illness before. But that doesn't mean, like, it just makes me mad how all these, like, rants that people go on, they immediately direct it to mental illness. Like, it can be a cause sometimes, but also, no, it has to do with a lot of buildup. If you're an introvert, like, you're kind of an outsider
going on at home. People bottle up these things and then they finally want to release it. Not saying that what he did was right. It was completely wrong. But it just amazes me how he got away with it.
And the fact that detectives believe that before he did this, he threatened 2 students by phone before he did the attack. So it's like, why didn't the students come out? Like, did they think it was a joke?
They probably thought it was a joke, because you're going to look at this kid. Like, if he's a shy kid, you're going to be like, he's probably not serious. He's just saying this. Or, I don't know, like, he's trying to seem cool or something, because you know how young kids are.
But even with that, it's like, you don't mess around with that. I mean,
they still should have said anything. Parents should warn their children. If you know what has been going on in the media recently,
or even if you do think it's a joke, like, they should say something.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm definitely sure that those kids shared that information with other students. Those other students could have went to somebody in that school and made note of that,
and it could have been prevented. But we have one more story. Apparently we have a few more stories. We have a lot of hard news today.
Yeah, because this week has been absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Well, this next story we're just going to briefly comment on, just because it's kind of like, it's disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
And it's still going. They're still collecting pieces as to, like, why this even happened. But this woman from Utah, she's accused of killing these babies that she gave birth to in a span of 10 years. And investigators are saying that she either strangled or suffocated. They were found in boxes. I mean, there's articles with details if you want to look into it. It's really disturbing, but it just, I found this interesting because apparently, because I was looking into it and I was
Yeah.
like, well, you know, why didn't her husband think of anything?
Yeah, he was the one who
in prison though.
Oh.
He was in prison, so she was. It didn't say for how long, but when he came back from prison, he was cleaning out the garage,
And found a
this is
baby.
when he found the boxes. They were individually packed in these boxes, and he got this odor, because that was my other question. I was like, well, first of all, why didn't anyone find them, and second of all, wasn't there a smell?
Yeah.
But it makes sense now because he was in prison, so obviously some of them might not be his. I don't know how long he was in prison. And then
You know what I was reading into? That in that same residence, I believe, there was another woman there who lived there who was charged in 2010 of killing 8 of her 17 children. And that some of the 2 of the bodies of the babies that were found belonged to her.
oh my god. Well, that's the thing. They said, I mean, her bail is set for $6 million, and I don't see her getting that money.
Exactly.
Neighbors said that she was a good neighbor, that she was quiet, and no one knew she was pregnant. But they said,
Who impregnated her? That's my question.
I don't know. That's why it's like still so new. But people did note that she would always wear baggy clothes. And my thing is, who are these guys, you know, getting her pregnant, and why does she keep killing them? I mean, it's absolutely terrible. Disgusting.
You know,
so
let's move on to
yeah,
something
so
else.
we just want to comment on that, and if anything else, we'll touch base on that. For the flight, the Malaysian flight, we'll briefly touch on this just because there's not much really going on with that, but they are searching to go to an area that is new to man in water, and they're going with like this new, like this device. It's like a mini, it's kind of like a tiny submarine, but like a distinguisher size.
That's really dangerous.
I mean, no one's in it. It's just a machine.
Okay, they're just sending the machine.
Yeah, and it's a camera. So they're checking out all these new spots. And then there was news with that they were hearing pulses, and then, you know, nothing. It's just ridiculous. So that's all we have to say about that. I know you had some stories, Jemilia.
Okay, a bus station attack in Nigeria kills 75. The death toll is expected to grow. Well, it took place in Abuja, Nigeria. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And the suspects, who people think were the cause of the attack, were the Boko Haram. The Boko Haram is an Islamic extremist group in Nigeria, and for the last 5 years they haven't been getting along at all. I mean, if you saw the videos, the pictures of officials and just people around picking up bodies, charred bodies, people's legs, like, it was just horrific. And I don't know if you remember in 2011 where there was a story of a U.S. embassy under attack. It was bombed. The Boko Haram was the cause of that. They were upset with the UN and the U.S. because they were in support of the federal government persecution of Muslims in Nigeria. And I mean, this is just very heartbreaking. I feel like Africa hasn't had the time to sleep well at all because the people are fighting against each other. It's really heartbreaking. Another short story is a Kansas City man is in police custody after an anti-Semitic shooting outside of Jewish centers. I mean, yeah, we touched on this briefly in class. He's 73 years old. He's a former high commander in a Ku Klux Klan. You know, he shot
a 14-year-old
and his grandfather in their car, and the next person while he was in his car as well. Ugh. Short story once again. A woman pregnant with the wrong set of twins. Get ready for this. An Italian clinic is shut down after impregnating an unnamed Italian woman with the wrong set of twins. The woman found out she was carrying the wrong sort of twins when she was 3 months along. Like, who does that?
Was she a surrogate?
I think she was not barren, but like she couldn't, her and her husband couldn't have children
Yeah.
together, so she went to the clinic to, you know, try to see what
Oh
they
my
could do
god,
to,
and they gave her the
and they
wrong.
gave her the
Oh
wrong set
my
of twins. So now
god.
they're under fire, under investigation, and so on and so forth. And
Oh
then
my
this is really
god.
sad. This happened in Los Angeles. A man is killed in his efforts to try and stop a homeless man from being attacked. It happened outside of a pool hall. He was there
He was
with
stabbed with a knife,
he was
right?
stabbed with
Yeah.
a knife. Yeah, he and his friend were stabbed. After they saw like a bunch of guys outside, you know, roughhousing a homeless man, he tried to stop it, and then one of the guys took out a knife, stabbed him in his stomach, and stabbed his friend someplace. I think it's in his chest, but the victim who was pronounced dead today is Donnie Reed, father of three. So.
Ugh. And I just realized another story. I just feel like there was a lot going on this week, like news
Mhm.
wise. Another story was the bus and the FedEx truck in California.
Yeah.
The collision.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I I haven't really been like on top of it,
Mhm.
but that was in the news, and I know hearing that a newly engaged couple, were one of the few people that, or
Were
two of the few people
were
that
killed.
passed away, which I
Mhm.
thought was really sad. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come back with entertainment. Right now, we're gonna play you our song of the week, Lana Del Rey's new song, West Coast.
Love her.
So we'll be right back, and we hope you enjoy it.